One of the questions that I get asked very frequently is centers around two kind of parallel questions. One is how to best select a partner, specifically in the Sage Intacct ecosystem. But I think this is pretty relevant no matter what software that you're looking for. And then on the other side is like, what should I expect from my current partner? And I think both of those questions kind of have a similar answer to them. So first, when we talk about picking a partner, we want to make sure that you're getting aligned with an organization. I think first and foremost, that is culturally aligned with who you are as a company and what your company stands for. So I look at partnerships, even in the B2B business realm, as kind of like a marriage or a relationship. And sometimes people jive, and that's why we become friends and things of that nature. Sometimes we just don't interact the way that we should. And so, at the very crux of a good partnership is one in which there's strong communication between the two parties. And that happens when there's cultural alignment. So, that's the first and foremost. Like, during your evaluation process within an organization, understand if from leadership down to the people delivering the service, are they aligned with your expectations? Are they aligned with what means the most to you? And then go from there. The second aspect of every good partnership is expertise. So, we're very lucky as an organization to have wide expertise and a very large team and teams that focus on very niche and unique components within Intact. But not every organization has that benefit to them. Even some of the largest organizations out there are very focused on very specific things. Sometimes we defer to those organizations, quite frankly. And if you ever anybody out there wants to sort of know who's a go-to for different aspects, I'm happy to share that. But making sure that who you're working with and who your team is knows your industry, your metrics, your KPIs in the same type of way that you know them is so impactful to the successful implementation and continued service of the organization. So as an example, like when we look at a new client coming in the door for implementation of Intact, we align one of our team members that have deep understanding of that industry and the modules that that organization bought. So I always like to mention that like a demographic profile of a client that's coming into Intact isn't about the number of employees or the revenue size. It has a lot to do with the industry and it has a lot to do with the modules that they purchased. Because if the organization just purchased core, they're only going to have a certain level of capability with Intact. But if you have an organization that's buying revenue management or contracts or things of that nature, now the available complexity, and I use that word very specifically, or that phrase, available complexity to them, because you don't have to use all the complexity, really is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to truly getting the most out of the software. And then there's really, if I go back to the first one, but I end with it too, is communication through the life cycle. So I don't care who your partner is. If they're not touching base with you throughout the year, understanding your pain points, communicating to you about what is possible, telling you what feature changes are happening every quarter with the release notes, and really being your guide through that process, through your life cycle with Sage Intacct, there's a problem. If they're only coming back to you at the moment of renewal, there's a problem. If they're not engaging you in a way that makes you feel like you're being informed about the product, informed how they're using it, we have a problem. So for me, a really good partner, whether you're buying for the first time or you're currently operating, is one that knows you intimately from a technology and an accounting perspective, communicates with you often, and is really a guide to you as an organization.